Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Welcome to episode 41 of our No Man's Land series. I am the Ultra Farmer. We're here. We're doing our normal routine where we got to get Freckles' food bowl filled. And we just do a quick little watch. That's a deer. Where's he at? Where's he at? Alright. We can't sit around all day waiting for that boy. Okay, so we are back. We need to... Let's raise that back up. And we got some more field prep that we got to do. Let's tab over. Yeah, we're set up over here. So at the end of the last episode, we were kind of getting these fields dialed in. And that's basically what we got to do for a whole bunch of this episode is we got to work on getting all our fields prepped and stuff for the winter time. So the only thing I really did off camera is I went and I sprayed this field. And I actually figured out why there's tire tracks on there. I figured it all out. Like, I don't know if it does anything, like, where you can avoid it. Here, I'm just going to run over, because it'll be quicker. But I know that these tire tracks are from the, like, when I'm pulling the auger wagon around with the tractor, right after we harvest. That's where we've drove across. The way I knew it is because there's these tire tracks here of when we tried to pull this hill, this huge hill with the trailer full of grain. I was like, why are there tire tracks that come straight up here? And I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. That's because we were trying to see how tough that new tractor was. So that's where these, I don't know how you like avoid these tire tracks or if it does anything to yields, but yeah, I figured it out. I was like laughing when I was spraying it. I'm like, why are there random tire tracks here? Like, but yeah, that's it. That was from us messing around when we should have been paying attention harvesting. Also, I was like, I don't know, not watching the workers work, and they were liming this field, and then all of a sudden one of them just decided to drive up. Instead of just doing this field, they decided they were going to drive up this field, or up this hill, which would have been, I can't even believe the tractor made it up this, it's so steep, and then just proceed to drive straight into the trees over there. I literally just came through and the tractor was jammed in the trees. And yeah, so, you know, I don't think we've had to fire anybody on this farm. No, we haven't. I probably should have been fired a couple times, but we haven't had to fire anybody yet. That guy got fired. I don't know. I don't know. I didn't actually fire him, but I was like, you know what? Maybe farming's just not for you. Whoa, okay. All right, let's set a course on this. We can do more of them. Let's go like that. See how this looks. Yeah, I think that'll be just good enough for what we got to deal with. Hopefully this guy can drive the tractor a little bit better. But yeah, I got this field. Okay, I got some more lime and stuff sitting here just waiting like I was doing before. Just getting everything squared away. We've probably got the ability to dump all this in here now because our production facility was full at the beginning of last episode, or at the end of last episode rather. Okay, so that's good now. In all honesty, we can park this tractor. Yeah, we can just park this tractor for right now. Or, before we do it, let's do what we said we were going to do. I continually want to go through and get all of our tractors and all of our implements just like 100% repaired and good to go. I know it doesn't really affect anything in the game, but we're at that point where it's just kind of the cost of doing business, right? You gotta make sure all your equipment is good to go and squared away. So there's Freckles. Yeah. Seen him now. Okay, so let's get this repaired. 97 bucks. We can deal with that. It's probably a valve stem. 5 grand. It's not too bad for a tractor that's got like 50 hours on it, I think. 55 hours. Sheesh. Alright, there's Freckles. Still got food, so he didn't eat all his food. He must have been playing with the sheep. Actually, that's another thing we're going to have to do this episode. We're going to check on all the sheep and make sure they have food. Kind of got busy harvesting last time, and I mean, I'm pretty sure they're all good because we fed them before we did the harvest. So they're probably good, but we should probably just make sure. this is going to be basically it for this episode of like our kind of our chores. I'm not going to end the episode rather, but that's going to be what we're doing pretty much all episode is we're going around and we're going to get all these fields squared away. As we slowly kind of come through different pieces of equipment, I'm going to bring them over. I'm going to do this tractor right now. Let's fire him back up. I'll just take everything through and we're going to do like a big maintenance run. And like I said, just kind of, I want to get everything really set and good to go for winter. What we probably might have to do is go pick up seed and fertilizer and stuff and like do a couple loads of that to bring it all back here so that in February/March we can just go to town getting all our fields seeded or planted, blah blah blah. Okay, this $200, not bad. $7. That's probably a new ratchet strap. The weight, $1. Okay. What are we missing on this thing? What are we? It's just a chunk of steel. $300. Okay. Okay, all this equipment's pretty good to go. I'm gonna go drop this weight off this guy. Give Freckles a little honk there. I'm gonna drop this weight off this guy, but I think I'll probably just keep the front attachers on it for now. Can snake her in here. Right by our bucket. Our bucket that it's right where I wanted it to be anyways. The only reason I bought that bucket was that time that I crashed that trailer and it was full of fertilizer. Actually, I'm going to take these off. And I had to scoop all that fertilizer up off the ground. That's the only time I ever used this bucket this whole game. Was when I crashed that tractor. I think I've crashed the tractor 3 times in the series. I rolled that trailer and then I rolled the trailer with all the oil on it. It was either oil or... Actually, I'm going to leave this tractor parked here. It was oil or clothes, I can't remember. I think I crashed it once with logs on it, so... Not bad. Not bad. We'll try not to crash anything else. Let's shut this guy down. Okay, let's tab over to this field and see how life's going. So this thing's still about 50% full, but I think once it makes the turnaround here, what we'll do is we'll get it full of lime just so it can keep going, and then we'll head back over and I'm gonna grab that Massey Ferguson, or yellow Massey Ferguson, one of the OG tractors. I'll take him over, do a good repair on him. I don't think there's anything that we need to sell. No, there's nothing that we need to sell. What we can do, actually, here, I'm just gonna wait till this guy pulls around so that I don't forget, because I'm gonna probably go into a rabbit hole of what we're gonna plant and when we're gonna plant it. I'm so glad we got this tractor though. Like this tractor's been so handy and it works so good. Now I just want to see where our route is gonna go here. You got to be a little careful when you're using courseplay and you're pausing and stuff, because sometimes when you go back to the nearest waypoint, it's like, I don't know. I've just screwed up with courseplay so many times. Click like, yeah, go back to the nearest one, and then it just like starts doing the same route that it did, and then you waste a bunch of stuff. Okay, so let's pause that. I'm just gonna back up a little bit. We'll fold this. Let's come over with this tractor. Yeah, I gotta look for like a mod or something that could hold a whole bunch of like fertilizer, or yeah, I don't know, almost like an auger tractor. Let's park right there. All right, let's fill. Let's fill here. Maybe I'll have a little drink of coffee. Now, I always say this at the end of our episodes, but I kind of wanted to start doing it in the beginning, because I don't know if people go like watch all the way to the very end of the episode. So just a shout out to everybody who's, you know, liked and subscribed everyone who's subbed over the last bit, thanks so much. If you haven't and you feel so inclined, we'd love to have you as a part of this community. If you have already, thanks so much. I appreciate it a lot. It helps out so much. It's pretty cool. Also, I've got some pretty wicked comments that have come through, so which is just like super nice. I don't know. Weird little stuff like that. But yeah, just a shout out of thanks to everybody who has liked, who subbed. And if you're enjoying the videos, let me know in the comments. It really is nice when you see people pumping you up with it. Like, I don't know. It's awesome. It's a good little feeling knowing that people are liking the series, because I love this farm that we've built. But yeah, just kind of wanted to say that little bit of a thank you, and just know that yeah, I appreciate all that stuff so much, because you don't have to hit the sub button, you don't have to hit the like button. So everybody that does, it's pretty awesome. Okay, let's start this back up. Alright, we should be good to go, although it does look like we're gonna miss a little spot right there. Just a little bit. That's okay though. That's okay. Now we can shut that off so it's not in our face. Okay. Actually, that tractor can sit right there. This guy we could pull around and go spray some weeds. Maybe that's what we'll do while this field's going. Does this... I can't remember. This one? Yeah, we gotta do weeds on this one. Let's do that right now. Get her unfolded. Spray some weeds. Also, another thing I figured I would just chat about while we're doing this, because I mentioned it a long time ago in one of the early episodes, so if you didn't watch that, you probably don't know, but... And not that it really matters, but I just figured to give you guys a little insight into my life. But the reason that I'm called Ultra Farmer is I run quite a bit. It's kind of my... I guess it's my hobby. I don't know. It started during COVID. I really started to kind of take running, I would say, more seriously. I really started to train for... Originally what I trained for was a 50K. So like my birthday was coming up. And I had a birthday, blah, blah, blah. I have a birthday every year, but in 2020, I had a birthday coming up, and I had this thing where I had never run a marathon before, and I wanted to run a marathon before my birthday. Now, actually, if I'm being completely honest, I read Goggins' book, his first book, and it really made me like want to run and stuff. And then I was like, okay, there's a marathon that I can do. And I looked, and it was literally the day before my birthday, and I was like, oh, this is perfect, right? Like, this is absolutely perfect. And I looked, I went to go register for the run, and actually it said like they had an option where you could do an ultra. So for anyone who doesn't know, a marathon is 42K, which is 26.2 miles. And then what they consider an ultra is kind of anything above that. But the kind of the lowest standard of an ultra that most people consider is a 50K, which is 31.25 miles. Maybe fact check me on that a little bit. Pretty sure it's 31.25 miles. And so this race was like, why not run an ultra? It's just, 8 kilometers more, or however many more miles was that, 5 more miles. And I was like, oh, that not only will I get to run a marathon before my birthday, like I could run my first ultra. And it'd be cool. It'd be like this sweet little thing, blah, blah, blah. Well, that year it was 2020 COVID. I was signing up for this race in the springtime, and then like around March, if I remember correctly, kind of everything shut down. Race got canceled, blah, blah, blah. But I kept training, and kind of since then, I've just continued to train and run ultra marathons. This is really what I've done over the last kind of 4 years, 4.5 years. I literally, I run every single day. I run every single day. At the time of this recording, so we're kind of getting towards the end. This is, we're November of 2024, so depending when you watch this, but, yeah, I've run, at the time of this recording, I just checked the other day, I've run for 780 days straight. That's or 782 or something now. I know it's 780. And currently on the year, I just hit 2,200 miles. So I've run 2,200 miles this year. I'm trying to get to 2,600 miles by the end of the year, which is the most I've ever ran. Blah blah blah. I'm not really like saying this to like brag or anything, or just so you know, like this is what I do, and most of the time, like the way that I do these episodes and stuff is I like right now it's very early in the morning. It's 5:30, and I'm just gonna get part of this recorded, and then I go do my run, and then I go to work for the day. I come back and I usually do editing in the night. But that's what I do. I get up really early in the mornings. I'll film for a little bit of this stuff. Then I go do my run and I go to work for the day. Blah blah blah. Probably not that interesting, but just yeah, that's why I decided to call myself Ultra Farmer. The last ultra that I ran was this summer. It was a 12-hour race. And so it was like, yeah, you get as much done as you can in 12 hours. And the course was it was like around this like rodeo grounds. So it was like a little bit of a trail run, but it wasn't too much elevation. By the end of it, I did 7,000 feet of gain, which isn't like super crazy for an ultra, but it was a 3 mile or a 5 kilometer loop. So you just do as many loops as you can within that 12-hour period. And I ended up doing 20 laps. So I got just over 100K. It gave me, well, it's 100K. My watch, I was just a little bit over 100K, but I ended up getting second place in that race, which was pretty cool. So I got 100K done, or like 63 miles in 11 hours and 44 minutes. So yeah, like my last lap that I completed was at that 11 hour and 44 minute mark. So like I didn't have time to do another lap. I would have went past the 12-hour point to get another loop in. So I just yeah, that's what I got. But I got second place in that race, which was the best I've done so far. Second place, and then kind of the best that I've done before that was I got fourth place in this 24-hour race I did one time. Actually, I did it almost a year ago. Actually, no joke. At the time of this recording, I think they start the race this morning. I'm not even joking. You guys could go check. I don't want to tab out of this. Sorry, I'm just going to look on my phone real quick here. I know this probably isn't super professional, but am I really a professional farm sim player? Like we know that not to be true, right? We know that that is not quite true. Okay, I just get some view here. It's called the Dark 24 Hours Underground. You guys can check this out if you want. You can look at the last, yeah, the Dark 24 Hours, and you run in. It's like an abandoned mine. So it's like you're literally underground. Yeah, November 2nd. Yeah, today's November 2nd. Um, oh my God, these guys are doing this race this morning. Wow, if they start at 9 a.m. Oh my God, that's crazy. Well, I mean, if any, it's a small chance that anyone who's watching this is gonna be have done that race. But good luck to all those racers. Yeah, it's like there's this like abandoned mine. There's actually a town. Okay, I'll tell you the whole story because we got nothing to do here other than spray fertilizer. There's a town. It's called Frank in Alberta, in the Crow's Nest Pass. That's the area. And there's what happened is Frank is known for what's called the Frank Slide. Whoa, hit that. And what happened is like in the middle of the night in like the early 1900s. You have to fact check me on this, or maybe it was like the late 1800s, like 1890 or something. But this town, like the mountains slid over the town. It was like a crazy rock slide, and it just encapsulated this town. It's called the Frank Slide. In this area, there's a little town, very, very small little town called Bellevue, Alberta. And that's where this mine is, the Bellevue Underground Mine. And that's where we raced. We raced in there for, it's literally, you run 250 meters to the end of the mine, 250 meters back. And we did that for 24 hours straight. It was easily probably the hardest race I've ever had to do. It's just so mind numbing, and you're like in the dark. I don't know. It was that was a difficult race for sure, but I got fourth place in that one, which was pretty cool. Pretty cool. I kind of got hurt towards the end. My foot was all messed up. Blah blah blah. No one really cares, but that's crazy. Yeah, that's crazy. They're doing that race today. Oh man, tank is empty. Okay. Let's go fill this dude up. Let's go fill this dude. Sorry, I just kind of rambled there a little bit, but that's yeah, that's it all started from me just saying that's what I do. That's why I'm called the Ultra Farmer. I like to train and do these ultra marathons. The last race that I did was in October 13th. It wasn't an ultra. I did the Victoria Marathon, which was good. That was more of like a I don't want to say like a fun race, but yeah, there's like some family and stuff on Vancouver Island that we went to meet. That's some from Canada. That was our Canadian Thanksgiving, so that was kind of part of why we did it. Blah blah blah. Yeah, so I'm called the Ultra Farmer. But you can check those races out. You can check out the Dark, 24 Hours Underground. I don't know. I don't know, and the race directors didn't know either. But when we were there, they they said that they thought it was the only underground ultra marathon in the world. Now I think there was one in like Europe where they ran through like a train tunnel, if that makes sense. I think so. It might not actually be true. Might just be small town Canadians trying to be recognized worldwide for something. No, I'm just joking. No, it's a nice little area. The people there the people are there are really really great people. The small town people are always awesome. Something about just being kind of like closer to a community, I think, makes them pretty cool people. But yeah, that mine, man, running in that mine for 24 hours, that was something else. I was I hit a really bad wall at about 18 hours in. It was about 18 hours in, and I think it was about 2:30 in the morning. I had this thing. I was there with my girlfriend, and I was like, we didn't bring a chair for me to sit down. And I know that sounds kind of like dumb, but at the time when I was like starting the run, I was like, I don't want to stop moving. Like I want to be moving the whole time. And I thought if I had a chair there, I would be like kind of tempted to sit down. And so we didn't have a chair, and it was like 2:30 in the morning. It was December 12th, I believe the race was last year. And is this gonna work? So I was cold. I was so cold. I remember being in this mine, and it was just my legs were destroyed. And I called my girlfriend. She was in the hotel, and I was like, "You gotta bring me a chair. Like I gotta sit for just a second." And I'll never forget this though. It was like a lunchbox that you could plug it into like a cigarette lighter, like a 12 volt in your truck, and it would heat up. And she had gotten chicken fingers and had them in this box heating up. And so she texted me when she got to the mine, and she's like, "I'm in your truck. Do you want to just come sit in the truck for a second?" And I knew it would be nice and warm in there, so I was like, "Yes, yeah." So I came over and I sat in the truck, and she just handed me this lunchbox, and there was just chicken fingers in it with like plum sauce. And I was like, I swear those are the best chicken fingers I've ever eaten in my life. It was it was the best chicken fingers. She probably got them from like a gas station or something. Like who even knows what would have been open at that time. Um, I just remember those chicken fingers. Yeah, like 2:30 in the morning. I'm like 18 hours in. I'm just destroyed. Yeah, see, like what's going on here? See, remember I told you course play gets weird? Maybe it's best just not to watch. Yeah, 2:30 in the morning. Chicken fingers, gas station chicken fingers, never tasted so good. And I sat down. I had to sit. I sat for like, I think we sat for 25 minutes because I was like, I can't sit longer than 30. I gotta keep going. And then I just went, and I walked for a little bit after that because my foot was really, really jammed out. I actually have like pictures of it on my Instagram. It was like a softball size swelling on the top of my foot. I could barely walk, and I just choked it down. But I got fourth place. I think if I wouldn't have got hurt, I might have been able to get third place. But blah blah blah. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. But then it's okay. After this, I'll stop talking about this, but this is just a funny, like, end to this story. So I spend 24 hours in this mine running. This mine that we ran in, it's actually like a tourist attraction. Like, you can go look at the website. I believe it's called the Bellevue Underground Mine. And you can go and you can do tours of it. And when I was all said and done, like all of a sudden one day I got an email from that mine, like tour agency, with a 10% discount code to go if I ever wanted to tour the mine. And I was like, tour the mine? Like, I spent 24 hours straight in there. Like, I'm pretty sure there's like a bit of my blood in the mine. Like I do not like the tour is exactly where we ran. It's because you can't go deeper in. It's like unsafe apparently. I don't know all the rules to abandoned mines, but yeah, they're like you can get a 10% coupon code if you ever want to come tour the mine. Since you ran that race, I was like, man, you're marketing to the wrong people right now. Whoever's in charge of that marketing department, God bless you, but I think I think that marketing's a little off. I'm not gonna not gonna lie. I don't ever need to tour that mine again. Yeah, okay, well, again, shout out to all the racers. Good luck to everybody today. Hopefully I hope they have a great day. I hope they have a great day. Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, that's probably enough me chin wagging about this for a little bit. I'm gonna just put a little bit of a cut in. I'm gonna get these I'm just gonna go through and do a couple of these fields. We'll get the lime done off that one. And I'll bring you guys back in when we're kind of prepping some more fields and doing some more maintenance stuff. But yeah, be right back. Okay, so I just finished... Jeez, I'm like, it's stuck in the thing. I just finished spraying that one field, and then what I figured I would do is I'd bring the sprayer over here. Like I said, keep doing our maintenance kind of runs here, getting all our equipment squared away. And I figured I'd pull over. I had to fill up with herbicide anyways, so I figured I'd pull into the shop and see if we could do some work on this bad boy. And then we've got to head over... Geez, actually, we're going to have to spray this field, aren't we? Have to spray this field. Yep. And this one needs lime as well, too. So I guess it doesn't really matter. We can spray it first. Let's get this thing unwrapped. What I might actually do... Let's get all whipped around here. Maybe we'll set a worker on this just to kind of do this field for a second. Let's close that like that. I always drop this down a little bit. We'll do one headland, but we'll do it nice and sharp. Let's generate that. Sure. Check this guy out. That tank's getting a little empty. Maybe we should just do it while we're here. Let's just let him get going on this straight stretch. Okay, let's do that. Let's back him up. Run over to this tractor. This is kind of our routine. Get this guy all filled up, and then once this field's limed, we're gonna have to spray this field as well. But it'll be good. We'll get all these fields nice and prepped, and they'll be just dialed for when winter time comes. Back up just a touch so I can get in this bad boy. I mean, like, this tractor is so sweet. Frick yeah. That's crazy, though. I can't believe that race is today. That's awesome. That is awesome. I'm so excited to see how much sunflower oil we get out of those productions. Like, it's usually pretty close to the seeds that we put in. So we should have quite a bit of oil. Quite a bit of oil. Which means we're probably going to make about... I bet you we'll make close to $1 million just off the seeds alone. And then whatever we get from our clothes. So I think, again, we could be around that 1.3 to 1.4 mil off of just kind of like this year's haul, if you will. Which is pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy because there's really... I've said this a bunch of times, but we're definitely running out of stuff to buy. like the only stuff that we could buy now is like kind of just for fun. Like, you know, what else could we buy? We could buy another tractor, right? We could have another tractor that gets hooked to a different piece of equipment that basically stays with that piece of equipment. We could, you know, I don't know, maybe we could buy uh, the other, this like massive sprayer. I mean, I guess we could buy this if we wanted, you know. It's kind of like a waste of money though. It's like $500,000 for, do we really need it? Like, not really. Unless we got into some sort of something completely different, like, you know, we went and decided to do potatoes or get some grape fields going or stuff like that. I mean, obviously there's you can kind of go endless in the game that way, but we're not really going to go get a bunch of forestry equipment. We don't need anything different for bales. We don't need nothing for like field preparations, rollers, planters, cultivators, harrows. Like, we don't need any of that stuff. I've never even used a spader in this game, I don't think. Like, this thing's 2.5 meters wide. What am I supposed to do with that? We don't need a cotton trailer. We don't really need like any other grain trailers or liquid trailers or headers. Really, the only thing that we're buying at this point is tractors for fun. Which, I mean, don't tempt me with a good time, right? Like, like we can go buy some tractors for fun real easy. I seen a mod. The reason I didn't do this before is because I kind of thought it was a little bit cheaty because of like how cheap they are, these tractors. But I like these old tractors. I just like how cool they are. This is like a 1995, I believe it said in the thing. You know, like it's 60, 70 grand, even with the biggest engine in it, 600 horse. What did that not even change the price on it? Like, yeah, like it's a bit cheaty, right? That's why I didn't buy it before because I'm like, I didn't want to just get a 600 horse tractor for 70 grand. Like, that's not really super fair. The only reason I would consider doing it now is because, like, you know, technically we've got the money that we could, if we really wanted to keep it legit, you know, we could just go buy this unit if we really wanted, and it wouldn't really affect anything. So I was thinking about maybe getting one of these just as kind of like something fun, even though it is cheap and kind of a bit cheaty. At least we're at a point where we can like really afford that. But also, like, this tractor is awesome, and it would kind of be fun to get that. But other than that, like, again, the rest of these, we're just buying these for fun. This is probably the best deal in the game for large tractors. This Fendt 1000. Yeah, we don't really need anything else. We could get this little tractor. Maybe we'll get this little one for Freckles. Yeah. You know what we could do? This may be what we'll do for fun, is we could always build ourselves a nice pickup truck. You know, we've been grinding for a long time. It might be time to get ourselves a nice pickup truck. I was even kind of thinking maybe what we'll do is put some bees in. Oh God, I'm sitting here in the way. There we go. Jeez, chin wagging and we're sitting in the way. Yeah. You're either in or you're in the way. That's what they used to say, right? Okay, how's Buddy Action doing here? Now, if I come back over here, did he already spray here? Okay, so yeah, it's weird on this field. Let's stop that. Must be because it's cotton. So this field we're gonna have to cultivate before we spray for the weeds. The other ones, what a waste of herbicide. Oh well, whatever. Usually the other fields, like, we come over to this one and we give her the old how you doing. It sprays and it's fine. Okay, I'm gonna just get this set up at the end, and then we'll get, instead of having a worker going on this, we'll get a worker going on those cultivators to get this field a little cleared off. and then we'll spray it for weeds. Let's get this set up down over here. Actually, you know what? It doesn't really matter. I'm going to do the same thing on this one. So the reason... You could just do up and downs on this field, right? And it would be completely fine. But the reason I like to put a headland on this field, a sharp one, is because at the end of the field there's a bunch of trees. And like this thing, because it's like 30 some meters wide, right? Does it know? Yeah. It's like 30 some meters wide. Like there's trees down here by the stop sign. When it tries to spin around, it always gets hooked on a tree. So if you do a headland, it gives it some room to turn around. Now we're gonna have to run over to blue because I know it's parked. Wait a second, just before we do this, let's double check. Weed growing? Yeah, now this one doesn't have weeds growing on it. Okay. Must be just something weird with the cotton fields that I just don't know about. Let's fire this bad boy up. Okay, I'm gonna unpark. Let's unfold these things. These cultivators are sweet. Oh yeah. Yeah, these things are pretty gnarly. So let's do the same thing here. Let's do... We'll do 2 sharp headlands with this. Let's see how it looks. Yes, no? Or not? Maybe it just jammed out for a second. There we go. Yeah, it just jammed out for a second. Yeah. Yeah, that thing looks pretty sweet. Looks pretty sweet. Okay. Well, we're just going to keep going on this. You know what? I think for the sake of it, just so it doesn't get too boring for you guys, I think we'll probably just end the episode there for this one, because I'm just going to keep going doing this process for the rest of this day. Really, I'm going to go through, get everything squared away on these fields. I'll have the herbicide going on everything. I'll have the lime spreader going on everything, just getting these fields prepped and getting ready for the springtime. Probably what's going to happen here, let me just double check, make sure I got this correct. So for the next episode, we're probably going to be getting closer into the spring. And what I'm going to be doing is, if there's any more maintenance to do, we'll do that. But mostly, we're going to be getting this field planted with cotton. That's going to be kind of our next big chore. So we'll pull the green mile out, which is going to be sweet. We'll get him going just for fun, for funsies, because that tractor's awesome. Yeah, we'll get the green mile all set up. We will get this field planted, and we will take all our sunflower oil in and get that sold off so that we can get a sweet little stack of cash. Maybe afterwards, for fun, we'll go buy one of those old case tractors. Like I said, it's a little bit cheaty because they're super cheap, but whatever. At this point, we're not scraping, and we're kind of just buying stuff for fun, so I don't mind that being a little kind of quote-unquote cheaty. I don't really think it is at this point, because like I said, we've already made our money, and right now we're just kind of doing stuff for fun. But what I also want to do in the springtime is, I think I want to try and get something planned for plot 18 and get one more field put in up there. Also, we should look for an area where we can put some bees in. And another thing we'll do for fun is maybe we'll build ourselves a new pickup truck just for some fun. But that's going to be it. So again, thank you guys so much. I know I said at the beginning of this episode, or kind of towards the beginning, but thank you to everybody who has liked, who's commented, who's subscribed. I appreciate it more than you could ever imagine. Thank you if you've watched this far in the video. Thank you if you've been sticking with me. If you were here through through some of the earlier episodes, like, let me know in the comments, like, if you really did see this farm in the early stages of just one tractor and us hauling logs and stuff like that. Like, let me know. It'd be cool to see who's actually kind of been here the whole time. And if you haven't, man, go back and check those videos out, because it's kind of, even if you skip through them just to see like where we started and just kind of where it's gotten to, would be great. But again, thank you guys so much. I'm sure the people won't be watching this video, but if anyone is later on in life watching this and you competed in the dark 24 hours underground, I wish you all the best. Hopefully you did good. Again, I know the racers are probably nervous right now, getting their gear together and getting prepped, but good luck to everybody who's doing that race. And shout out to Sinister Sports for putting it on. That's a really good race director and kind of company that puts races on. So, again, thanks so much, guys. Appreciate you watching. Appreciate you being here with me, and I'll see you guys on the next episode. Cheers.